friends, have you ever wished that you had some type of meal already put together? All you had to do was cook it up, didn't have to think, just go by the instructions and bam, it would be done. I have got some of those wonderful bagged meal ideas that I'm going to be showing you today. In the winter, whenever we camp, we do not have running water in our camper. So I have learned how to utilize shelf-stable items and utilize bottled water. Well, this takes it just a little step further. If there were an emergency and you may not have water or you may not have power and you're having to cook it over a fire or on your grill, you can do that with the items that I'm showing you. I'm going to show you some meals that are shelf stable, that you don't have to add anything from the fridge. Eggs, milk, none of that from the fridge. I'll show you how to do it, and it's really quick, really simple, really easy. And we've got 3 regular meals, a breakfast, and a dessert. So stay tuned. And for our first bag meal, we're going to make some green chili chicken casserole. It is a rice casserole you make with shelf-stable items. And let me go through that. First of all, let me show you the bag. It is a Mylar top bag. It has a handle you can put all the ingredients in, so it's really good and heavy. That way you can carry all of these cans around with you. We have some canned chicken. I've got some mixed vegetables, green chili enchilada sauce. I've got some chicken rice, and a bottle of water just in case the green chili enchilada sauce isn't enough water. And I have a label to go in the bag so you can see it through the bag and know what you've got. And here's your green chili chicken casserole, already in the bag and ready for you to take wherever you need to take it. And here are the ingredients for the chili mac. Some Wendy's chili, some diced tomatoes, some elbow macaroni, and a bottle of water. That's all you need to put in the bag to make a great meal that you don't have to worry about using anything out of the fridge, or if you happen to be somewhere where you don't have water accessible, you have everything you need in this bag to put together a good meal. And now you have a take-along meal in a bag to take wherever you need. And here are the ingredients for the chili nachos: some paste picante, some paste salsa, some Wendy's chili, a packet of Velveeta cheese, and some chips. And those make an awesome nacho. And all I have to do is put them in the bag, and then they are ready to take with me wherever I might go or whoever I might give it to. And you could always write instructions on the back of the label that tells people exactly how to put this together and what to do for the nachos themselves. And yes, these bags are big enough for the chips to fit inside, and you still have plenty of room. And you can see the label on the outside. Perfect to take to a party where you're going to need to cook something quick, or you don't have time to cook it and you're rushing to a party. All you need is to heat up the chili, put the cheese on it, the pot salsa, and you're done. So good, and can't wait to eat this one. And here's some biscuits and gravy. Now, you could get the biscuit mix and add some water to it, or I'm going to be using Paula Deen's mayonnaise biscuit recipe. 2 cups of self-rising flour, a cup of milk, a little mayonnaise, and you make biscuits with just that little bit. And I've got some Patterson's home-style sausage gravy right here to use. All they had were the little cans, so I got 4 of them, so we have plenty of gravy. There is another brand that is better than Patterson's, but I don't even think they make it anymore. So this is what we're going with for breakfast one morning. I mean, if you happen to have eggs and stuff, that's great, but you don't have to, and none of this has to be refrigerated. So let's get it in the bag. And we've got biscuits and sausage gravy ready to go. Now we've got one more thing. Here was the breakfast. All we need is a dessert. Let me show you what we're going to make for dessert. And here is the last thing. Our dessert, strawberry shortcake dump cake. And I am actually going to be making this in the crock pot because I don't like cooking in anything that'll heat up the camper specifically, which is where this is going to, unless I'm cooking outside. So the crock pot is a good thing to have to make. What I've got is some cream soda, which was not easy to find, let me tell you. I've got some Strawberry Supreme, perfectly moist, Duncan Hines. Some cream cheese, because you know what's better on strawberry than some cream cheese sugar mixture, you know? Figured that'd be really good. And of course, cans of strawberry pie filling to go on the bottom of the cake. So we've got lots of fruit, some cake, and some good bubbly stuff to make it rise up and be nice and pretty. So we will see how this is going to do in the crock pot. And let me go ahead and get this in its bag. And it all fits really nicely in the bag and easily toteable. So now we are ready to head to the camper specifically with all of our shelf-stable recipes, so we don't have to worry about any type of milks or butters or anything of that nature that we would need to get out of the fridge. We've got it all right here. If you're camping, you can always put this in a Dutch oven and make it over the fire, or put it in a pan and put it in your grill. Because a grill is basically an oven. It can heat up to the same temperature as an oven is. Just got to watch that the bottom doesn't get burnt. But other than that, it can work perfectly too, especially if you put a pan on the bottom and then put your cake on top. So it gives it a little bit of a cushion there. So let's get all these ready to go. And let's get going on the Chili Mac bagged meal. I am using an electric frying pan tonight because I like using my frying pan when we're in the camper. And I'm going to go ahead and get the bottle of water opened up, and all the water in the pan. I may need 2 of them, but that's okay. I've got some water here, thank goodness. I'm going to put in about 12 ounces of the pasta. Not quite 16 ounces, but about 12 ounces I think should do fine, which is a little over half. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this to heating up. I've got it set on 350, and once it heats up and starts cooking, we'll start adding the rest of the ingredients. And the noodles have pretty much absorbed all of the fluid. So now I'm going to add in the tomatoes and the chili, which this is Wendy's chili. It sounds really good. It looks really good. But it's in a can. Go ahead and get this mixed around. I'm going to turn it on low because the noodles are pretty much soft. I've already checked them out. The beans, the tomatoes, the chili, it all looks really, really good. Okay, now I'm going to put this on low to simmer for about 5 minutes, and then it'll be ready to eat. And I've let it cook for about 5 more minutes for the macaroni to dissolve, for the macaroni to absorb the rest of the fluid. So look at that. It is ready to eat. If you're making this at home where you have cheese and other things like that, yes, you can add cheese to this. You could add whatever you wanted to this, but you know, if you're out camping and you want a quick and easy hearty meal, right here you go. And it's easy, simple, and shelf-stable. And let's make the biscuits. You could use the already made-up biscuit mix and just add water. I'm going to do the Paula Deen's mayonnaise biscuits because it's all shelf-stable. This is 2 cups of self-rising flour, 1 container of the shelf-stable whole milk, which is 1 cup, 8 tablespoons of mayonnaise, which is basically half a cup, pretty much. All right. And now I'm going to mix all this up until it becomes a batter. And I've got all of it mixed up. It is a wet batter. It is not a dry batter. And it states to put the biscuits on the pan, use a heaping tablespoon. So let's go ahead and get that going on. And I'm basically going to just put a heaping tablespoon until I fill up the whole area with biscuits. And I've tried to make all of them around the same size, so I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven at 400 degrees for, it says 12 to 14 minutes. We will see, because I'm using an outdoor oven. And the sausage gravy is easy. All I've done is open the cans and just pour them into the container and let it warm up. It comes out in a big dollop. I've only done 3 cans because I didn't think we needed all 4. Because it's just Danny and I. Of course, you can. I made, what, 8 biscuits maybe? 6 biscuits at least. So we've got plenty of biscuits for the sausage gravy to go on. And I'm going to let this warm up until it's nice and smooth and the biscuits are done, and then we'll be ready to serve some breakfast. And the biscuits are cooked. And now it's time to put some of this gravy on the biscuits. I'm going to go ahead and give Danny 1 big biscuit. And I'm going to cut it in half. They look moist. They look good. They look really good, actually, to be a drop biscuit. And I'm going to go ahead and put some of this gravy on it. And there you go. Gravy and biscuits. It's what's for breakfast today. Now this dump cake could not be any simpler. All I've got is the perfectly moist strawberry supreme cake mix, which I am going to cut the bag open, and we're going to go ahead and pour all of the cake mix into our mixing bowl. And now for our wet ingredients, it's just going to be 1 can of IBC cream soda, which is 12 ounces. If you get the aluminum can, or instead of the bottle, it's 12 ounces also. But I'm going to go ahead and pour this in, and this is all the wet ingredients we are going to use in this cake. The soda has a lot of effervescence, and it should make the cake rise up and be really good. So let me go ahead and get this mixed up real quick. It smells amazing. Oh my goodness gracious alive. Look at that. That is what you call a good cake mix. Now I'm going to go ahead and get ready to put all the ingredients into the crock pot, because surprise, this is a crock pot dump cake. Now the first layer in the dump cake is strawberry pie filling. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the bottom of the container. Right. And now I'm going to pour the cake mix on top of that. And like I said, how easy is that? Okay. So I know on your wish list was west, southwest. That can be really hard to find. All right. I'm just going to make sure that this is all the way out to all the sides so it will cook evenly. Now, this is ready to put the top on. I'm going to do it on low for 4 hours. And then we'll finish it off with a little topping. And here is what the cake looks like in the crock pot now. It started to cool off just a little bit. Let's go ahead and get it plated up with a little bit of icing, and I'll show you what it looks like. And here we go. Strawberry shortcake dump cake with some cream cheese icing. And that's the dessert. Now let's go ahead and make the chili nachos. What I need is the can of Wendy's chili. I'm going to go ahead and pour it into the pot. Let that be heating up just a little bit while I put the chips on a plate and get them all fanned out. And the chili is boiling, so now it's time to make some nachos. Okay, the first thing I'm going to pour on the nachos is the chili. I'm just going to pour it over top of all these nachos, all throughout. That way we get a little bit of chili on every nacho, if I can get it done. Here we go. Now the next thing is the paste salsa. I'm just going to put a little bit of paste salsa on the nachos. Just sprinkle it out. I'm probably going to use about half a can maybe. Okay. Last thing is the Velveeta cheese in the packet. I'm going to go ahead and squeeze it out onto the nachos. Hopefully everything is nice and hot. and it will help melt it a little bit. And we can get some cheesy goodness going on. Alright, go ahead and spread this out just a little bit so the cheese will get to each of the nachos. And there we go. Chili nachos with cheese. And it's what's for lunch today. And it's time to start the green chili chicken casserole. We've got all the ingredients that we packed into the bag, which is the green chili chicken enchilada sauce. I've got a can of chicken breast that I have drained. I've got a can of vegetables, mixed vegetables I'm going to put in. And some chicken rice that I'm going to add both the rice and the chicken packet. And a bottle of water in case I need it. I've got to see how this looks when I put it in the pan. So let's get it in the pan and see if we've got enough liquid. Let's go ahead and empty the rice in the pan. And the green chili enchilada sauce, which I think this is going to be enough liquid that we may not need to add any liquid into it, which I'm hoping, which would be really awesome. I'm going to go ahead and add in the packet from the chicken rice. Give it lots of chicken flavor to go in with the green enchilada sauce. Alright, now I'm going to mix that around until it's well mixed. I think that green chili enchilada sauce is going to be just the right amount of fluid. The can of chicken is going in next. Alright, get some chicken in that. And of course, to get some vegetables in, some mixed vegetables. You don't have to add that in, but you know I try to get vegetables in with Danny every time I can because he doesn't eat enough vegetables. So what I'm going to do is let this come up to boil. Then I'm going to put it on a simmer and let it finish simmering for whatever the amount of time is on the rice. That way I can get it done. So let's get it coming up to boil. I let it boil for a minute. I put it on simmer, let it simmer for about 15 minutes. And look at this. And here we go. Green chili chicken casserole. Straight out of the can. And that is what we're having. And these are 5 great meals to have on hand in case there were ever an emergency and you needed to cook your family a good meal. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you haven't already subscribed, press that button down below and subscribe so you don't miss any of the fun. And let our family be a part of your family.